नमस्कार. आयच्या हेडोनात तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. महत्वाचे हेडोन कारण चर्चीच्या ज्या सर्क्युलराचेर बोवाळ जालो ताचेर खूब राजकारण जालें, खूब जाणांनी खुबश्यो गजाली म्हळ्यो. त्या सगळ्या गजालींचेर सडेतोड भासाभास करपा खातीर आमचे बरोबर आसात फादर मेवरीक फर्नांडीस आमच्या स्टुडिओ भितर आसात. स्वागत तुमचें. आनी सेंटर फॉर सोशल जस्टीस आनी पिसाचे यू आर दी प्रेसिडेंट, जांणी हे सर्क्युलर इश्यू केल्लें. तर बोवाळ तर भरपूर जालो आनी तुमी जेन्ना अशें सर्क्युलर इश्यू करता तेन्ना डेफिनेटली ताचो आवाजूय खूब जाता. इश्यू करतना कल्पना आशिल्ली हाजेर इतलो व्हडलो बोवाळ आनी राजकारण जातलें म्हणून?
Always our circular gets accepted by people and they comment on it. Each one pulls it and pushes it according to how it suits them well. So this was expected. गेल्या फावटी आमी करप्शनाचेर उलयल्या, एक पार्टी म्हणूंक लागला अमकेच पार्टी करप्ट, देखून तांकां चर्चीन सांगलां अमके पार्टीक आनी परतून हाडचें ना म्हणून. आपणाक जाय तशें सोबयतात आनी वोडटात आनी दवरतात. So this expectation was there that people would pull and push it as and how they wanted.
And how would you react to what happened after the circular? There are many, I think, politicians, some political heavyweights who are not very comfortable with an idea of church issuing a circular like that.
But the church has always been doing this. I mean, every election, whether it's even a panchayat election, we issue circulars. For assembly elections, we issue circulars. For Lok Sabha, every time we have issued this. What is the discomfort that with this time, the circular of this elections? We don't understand that.
Do you think that political parties overreacted?
Possibly, because someone might have got hurt or is feeling that they are on a shaky ground because what has been pointed in now has affected them. That's the reason they have maybe been overreacting. Because this is what the press has been reporting every day practically ever since the circular was out. Every day we have had comments about this flyer. So they have taken cognizance of our flyer. That's something very beautiful to know.
That is something very beautiful to know. But तुमकां दिसता की जे राजकारण जालें ह्या सर्क्युलराचेर ताची गरज आशिल्ली काय चर्निंग जावप बरें?
ते कित्याक लागून करपाक आपापणाचे वतेन ओडून घेवपा खातीर कडेन केलां जायत. अशें इतलें करपाची गरज आसल्यार म्हाका खबर ना. आनी तें करपांत आनी कितें तांचो हिडन अजेंडा आसा जाल्यार आमकांय खबर ना. तेका लागून आमी we have put it very openly without pointing our fingers to anybody, but have said things what we need to say, looking at the prevailing situation.
So prevailing situation, church feels that the biggest danger is to the secular fabric of this country. And why do you feel so?
We have just helped people to recollect. If our opening statement is about the preamble of the Constitution, correct. If people are getting scared of even reading the preamble of the Constitution and raising issues, then there is something seriously ill with those who are raising issues with this flyer. We have not said anything which nobody can say in India. We have just reiterated what the Constitution has said. We need a secular, democratic republic. That's what all that we have said. So what is wrong in saying that we should not work, we should not bring in the communal forces, but we should stick into the secular fabric of this nation? What is wrong in saying this?
Tumka dista, do you feel that there is a possibility that communal forces might come to power, and that is why church has taken this preemptive step of telling its brethren, please vote carefully?
The issue right from the beginning was simple. We looked at the prevailing situation and we saw that how the media and the corporate forces were pushing a certain idea and not looking at the Constitution but looking at some other apart from the Constitution. We elect a parliamentary form of government. We don't elect a leader for this nation. We elect representatives. There's a crucial difference between this. We are not electing a leader. We are electing a representative, someone to represent us. And there are 543 representatives have to be elected. So why focus on one person? This is not a presidential election. This is a parliamentary form of it. So someone is trying to maybe look at the corporate forces, the media, or some political parties are wanting to say something that this constitution is not something which we can hold on for too long. That's the reason we just reiterated that the constitution has got a preamble, and let's look at the secular fabric of
जितले
this.
पॉइंट तुम्ही रेस केल्यात सर्क्युलर भितर, let us be very open about it, because you have very openly issued it, and there is a strong undercurrent to this circular, and that undercurrent seems to be Narendra Modi. Just तुम्ही सांगले की there are corporate forces, or just तुम्ही सांगले की there is the whole focus is only on one person. Now that is happening with Narendra Modi. Is church not comfortable with the idea of Modi becoming prime minister?
Let me put it in another way. Why put the horse before the why put the cart before the horse? If at all that party receives an overwhelming majority, and those party members think that he should be the leader, that is what the constitution says. The parliamentarians of a single party or of a coalition should elect a leader, and then he comes in.
Correct.
We have always honored what is the verdict of the people. Whichever government comes into power, whoever is elected as a leader of the government, we have to accept that is the will of the people.
But
follow the constitution which is there.
But
don't go beyond something and project something which is not envisaged in our constitution.
This over projection of Modi, you are not finding it very comfortable with your ideas of thought.
It is the constitutional ideas, it's not our ideas.
Yes.
The constitution of India has been given to us, and the whole governance and all our functioning has to follow within the parameters. If it is not following within the parameters, then there is something wrong in people who are trying to project to scuttle this constitution, which we are scared of. That the constitution is given to us, all the parliamentary form of government for so many years, India has functioned without any difficulty. The constitution has not failed us. On the contrary, we have failed the constitution, we can say. And therefore, why put in something which is not here?
तर तुमके म्हणतात की हो जो फोकस आसा एकाच मनशाचेर तो बरोबर न्ही.
Sarkana.
That is not right.
I mean, the constitution doesn't provide for a presidential form of government here. It provides for a parliamentary form of government. So the focus has to be on the election of the representatives of the people, not on a leader.
Not on prime minister.
Obviously
candidate.
not.
Not on prime minister candidate.
Obviously not. Because the constitution doesn't provide for a prime ministerial candidate. It provides for election of representatives of people.
पण अशी एक आर्ग्युमेंट येता की तुम्ही it is not about just focus, it is about the person also. There is a history. For Narendra Modi, there is a history, and that is not a history which is high in terms of secular credentials or things like that. And church is not very comfortable with that. So for फक्त फोकसाचो मुद्दो ना, हांगा Narendra Modi as a person is also not going down very well with all of you.
All of us, meaning? If tomorrow he is elected by the parliamentarians of his party as a leader of this thing and following the dictates of the constitution, then we have to accept him as a leader. His history and his whatever is there behind his functioning, also time will find its own way of giving.
But त्या हिस्ट्रीक लागून तुम्ही comfortable ना? That you don't feel that he is a person who can uphold the secular credentials that India is founded upon.
His way of functioning and his way of thinking and his way of operating have opened up so much of debate even before the election. It's not for me to bring it over here. People from his own party are raising issues about him. People within his own party are raising about his style of functioning. So we have already given by the own party men so much food for thought. It's not for us to make a evaluation of a leader. If people who has churned him and people who have brought him up are speaking these styles of his functioning, which is not good they're saying that this is not good for the country, then there's a serious question being raised by the party man itself and senior party person.
Yes, कारण तुमचे सर्क्युलराचो फोकस आसा तो कम्युनलिझमाचेर आसा आणि मागीर सेक्युलर फॅब्रिक आणि कॉन्स्टिट्युशनाचेर आसा. जेन्ना कम्युनलिझमाचेर आसा, very very direct question, तुमकां दिसता की नरेंद्र मोदी is a threat to secular fabric of this country?
If he follows the constitution then he is not the threat. But if he follows something beyond the constitution, then the secular fabric of this country is at risk.
As of now, what do you think? Because definitely, yeah, circular atlan tumhi ek clear message dila, and you are trying
and we
to
are telling the people.
You are trying to
we are
tell
telling
people,
the people
that be aware.
You be
Be
aware
vigilant.
of people, not just because people have not just cropped up overnight. You have seen people functioning. You have seen people's way of style of functioning. You decide if you want to project, you want to bring up such a leader before, and accept him as a leader afterwards.
So तुम्ही सांगतात की मतदान करची पहिली चितात.
That is what we have said. This whole circular is only a reflection for people. One, to go and vote, and to vote conscientiously, judiciously, after thinking thoroughly. This is what we have said in this circular. That people have read so much into it.
No,
I'm really-
असे काही शब्द असतात. Very frankly,
there are commentaries written on circular.
तातूंत असे काही शब्द आहात किंवा असे काही आयडियाज तुम्ही फ्लोट केल्या, which everybody is saying की clearly कळटा की तुम्ही where you are hinting. So जेन्ना it is very clear where you are hinting. Do you think
we are hinting about communal parties and communal persons. So it's very clear here that if people who are parties and persons, if you think are not going to keep the constitution in place, then you rethink about when you're going to vote.
But overall this debate is ultimately going towards only one person, and that is Narendra Modi, and that has created lot of flutter regarding this circular.
I mean, people have pulled it in their ways that they want to.
Do you want to say that the interpretation is wrong?
No.
That you are hinting
I
at
said it
Narendra
already.
Modi?
We have said it very clearly. Keep out the communal forces. If they think that they are communal, then it is directly hitting them. If they are thinking that, as some of them have been saying, we are a secular party and our secular won't have an impact. Yesterday the candidate has said we are a secular party, Congress is a communal party, someone else is saying something else. So these days the newspapers are claiming, each party is claiming to be secular.
So nobody needs to be worried.
So why this whole big debate about how secular? If each one thinks they are secular,
You
let them
wouldn't-
be happy.
wouldn't-
People will decide whether they are secular or communal.
You wouldn't call this circular an anti-Modi circular.
Ours is a pro-constitutional circular.
It is not anti-anybody.
No.
Everybody has a right
We are
to
sticking
interpret.
to very clearly, we are sticking to the constitution of India. And things which are not fitting here, and we have seen in the prevailing situation, are not fitting in the constitution. That's why we raised issues about presidential form of election, how the communal forces will take over. Because how the danger is in these lines. The corporate forces, the media is being projecting people. It's very obvious. It's nothing. In fact, what we have said in this circular is already people were talking of this. We have not said anything extraordinary. People have been discussing
when
this.
you
People
say
have been
it
debating.
creates it goes beyond
we have
debate.
only
It
put it
goes
into
beyond
print.
the
We have
normal
put it-
teacup discussion.
We have put it into print.
Yeah.
What is the buzz around? That's all we have done.
तुमकां दिसता की जे interpretation जालें, that was wrong, or that is a right interpretation, and you are happy that whatever message you wanted to pass on subtly has been passed on in a very nice manner.
We had, as
That
I said,
you haven't named anybody.
Yeah.
You haven't said this person or that person, this party or that
we
party.
will never say that
Yeah.
because this is not our role.
Yes.
We have a very neutral role
So
to
you
play
are
here.
passed on a message in a very subtle manner, and after listening to all this hullabaloo after the issuance of this circular, are you happy that that subtle message has gone across to all the electorate?
The message is being, as I said, the message is being used because see, on the first day we found the BJP president praising us for the statement that we have brought. The next day, the deputy chief minister says minority is still wary of Modi as prime minister. BJP themselves are stating that about minorities being wary of this. So then they have already made some reflection about that. It is very clearly they are stating that.